I'm going to explain what the significators that I have chosen mean. Yes, these significators are the same for each and every sign, and there is a reason for that, and I'm going to explain it in the next couple of minutes. So unless you know why I am using Temperance reversed, and you can think of it now, then please listen. And so otherwise, after that, we will jump right into the reading and see where this month takes us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, super duper quick explanation. If you go on my website, you can check much deeper explanation. Just don't want to hear the questions. Oh, you're using the same cards all over and over again. This is for those who should be listening to this and you're not. So I'm not going to answer that. So we have 7 topics. I want to find out under each of this chapter what comes out in this time frame. When I'm doing my personal readings, I'm doing it a little bit differently because then I have the personal energy. Here is sort of like mishmash of all of you coming here and picking up on your energy. So it's kind of like a little bit different. By the way, this reading isn't special. Actually, you have a double special here. One is still $50 versus 60. I'm keeping that. So I know this is kind of a pressing thing, but the second one is like speed up promo, which means that you're actually getting 1 level up. So from the regular reading, which usually takes me 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to get it within a week. If you book a rush reading, which used to take a week, you're going to get it within 3 days. And if you buy urgent reading, which used to take 3 days, you're going to get it within 24 hours. And if you're North America, maybe even the same day. So just like visit cattarot.ca and check up specials, and everything will be explained there. Let's get into this explanation. The first category, magician. Magician is magic. He can do anything. So here I want to really see what in this relationship can be created. Is this relationship actually even doable? And you know, sometimes people complain, oh my gosh, I can do a whole bunch of things, and I don't know why I cannot make this relationship working, right? But the truth is, sometimes there are like external issues that actually can affect us, and because of those issues, we cannot make it work. So here in this kind of like a column, you're going to find this out. The Temperance is reversed here for a reason, because in the upright situation, Temperance says right time, right place, right person, right situation. But here it's saying that one of these elements is missing. So we have to figure out what needs to be glued before this can move forward. Then Queen of Wands is the dating queen. The Knight of Wands is the dating king. So one of that is you. One of that is the partner that you want to know. 8 of Wands is going to tell me about the energy in between the two of you. What's happening? Is there going to be communication? Well, the Judgment is what these guys above think about this relationship. What have you done with everything that has been given to you? What if you were given all this love and were told, like, you know what, you have to learn how to communicate? Let's see what they mean. And also let's see how is this relationship progressing. So how is that? Was it super fast? So let's jump in. February and March. However, guys, this is going to apply at any time that you're listening. This is how this works. You're attracted to energy. And did you ever try to dust? Stuff comes to that feather kind of like thing. So it's going to work no matter what time you are here. So let's start. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your forecast, February, March. Again, disclaimer, guys, this can be all of you, it could be none of you, and for basically your personal energy, for your for personalization, please order your own thing. It's on special. So let me see what you have. 3 of Wands. Oops, let me get this autofocus out. You have 3 of Wands. You have the Chariot reversed. Whew. Both Chariot and Tower next to each other. What happened, guys? Did you think that certain things would just resolve on their own? that just by sheer will and going forward, things will kind of last. You have to realize there are lots of issues that are not black or white, where neither of the party is the right one. And with relationship, and like I have to tell you, when people come to a counselor and there's one counselor, just tell him this is what he should be doing. Yeah, it actually doesn't work that way, because while objectively things can be wrong, subjectively in a relationship you have to find what is the right and wrong for the partners, and that's where the hardship is. So let's see what we see here. We have three majors over here, so something is brewing, something is happening. I don't like the Tower reversed, because this is usually indicating a person who just like doesn't want to see the issues that are existing or that can be faced, and they simply are just pushing into yeah, it can be worked, everything can be done, and kind of pushing it forward, saying everything can be successful, which is kind of like really commendable. It is a huge positive attitude. But the Tower is collapsing over here because it's kind of like built on the wrong foundations. So you have to go back, and especially the Chariot 7 and 16, 16, 1 and 67, very similar flavors. So as you can see in this level, we kind of like have to decide what kind of combination works for us and how fast we want to get there. When we don't conquer this lesson, or kind of like we have aptitude for drama, then karma steps in and say, you know what, I have asked you to kind of determine it yourself and you haven't. You get this, I'm taking this rug under your feet and you have to deal with this. So some of you are really dealing with that fallout. Some of you should really ask yourself what is it I really want, and what would need to happen for me to move forward. Because I'm seeing here this partner is all in their head. They're thinking about you, but in a sense they're thinking about you, whatever happens, happens. Kind of they are avoiding problems and they are avoiding responsibility. So let's see what else we have. 4 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. I like to see Pentacles for you guys. You're very pragmatic. Queen of Swords. You're coming back in a saddle again. You're saying what you need, you're saying what you want. These 2 cards I like to see together. 8 of Wands reversed, and then 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so what do I see here? I do see here some motion forward. And I think even here I've seen it like sort of like it's somewhere up in the air. It's kind of like, where is this going to land? Where is this going? One person is just pushing. Another person is just completely passive. Not a good setup. So this is actually moving forward. I think somebody's waking up and saying, look, maybe we have to go back to the basics. We have to go and maybe take a step back dating. And that's what I always suggest to my clients. If you're married, let's go back, maybe be separated for a while. Or kind of like spend some time like really dating. Or if you're really serious, just try to see, like, that you lighten the load and kind of like try to be kind of like that flirty again. So it's always kind of like taking something back. Because Queen of Swords is always a grand minimizer, not kind of cutting relationship, that kind of like would be this way. But it's basically saying that certain things, again, have been not built properly, that maybe somebody has huge walls, and these walls can simply be walls of cluelessness, walls of, I don't want to see anything but what I want. I want. You know, the little child, I want this, I want this, I want this. I think it's reaching this clarity about that. Not necessarily giving up on what is wanted, because I see here King of Cups. I still want this guy who is nice and soft and generous and who listens to me, with whom I can build this life. Is that you? So it's going to be interesting phase over here, because it might be phase where there's nothing happening, where there's like simply feeling wrong. It's simply feeling he or she's never going to contact me again. And this card in the upright, it's always talking about kind of like almost being shunned. And I always ask myself, because I sort of like didn't learn the cards in the same way that the other people did, and maybe that's why my reading's a little bit different. I always kind of like spend lots of time thinking about what this card means to me and what are my own judgments and my own conclusion about that. And then I mix it with the theory that I've learned. So what I see over here, guys, are seeing two people who are passing by the church. We do know that church should open doors for everybody, right? So why are these people who pretty much are destitute, not even sort of like walking step by step, side by side, but just keep going and trying to protect themselves from the inclement weather? Look at the snow falling, an injury. Why not going in this church? And especially look at this, can you see this? It's hidden. The anchor is hidden. Pentacles also talking about security. So when I see this, I'm always wondering what happened. Are these people simply not following the rules of the many? But they don't look unhappy with each other. After all, it's still a couple over here. But then we get this. So this window of the church, where they are kind of like shunned, possibly, most likely, is becoming the door, the doorway. So the doorway is opening and there is like still not taken in. And this is the question, why? And this is falling here in the category, and look, you had a 4 falling in the 4 of Wands, falling in the 4 of Wands category, saying, yeah, it is possible to go to the next level. But do you want it? This is what is asking. Do you want it? Is it going to be the two of you against the world? It's a really nice concept to be a title of the movie. In reality, this is not a good concept. And then you have the Karma card making an appearance. The big changes are coming. What needs to repair? You need to repair with how you interact with each other. That would be the soulmate card. When it's reversed, and it's still not only reversed, but it's falling in the category of what needs to be glued. So what needs to be glued, it's like clearly saying everywhere the same thing. You have the Chariot. Look, you have one black Sphinx, you have one white Sphinx. I don't know if you notice, there are no strings for those Sphinx. And yet, this is the sheer power. There is a star hidden in this particular card, which talks about higher vision, higher motives, and merging two different people to kind of like go on the path together. So this card is like about two people are so good for each other that 1 + 1 makes 3, and that's why I have this like healing helix here, right? But no, they're reversed because they're talking about issues that need to be fixed. So need to get on the same page, need to understand what makes relationship, and understand the relationship is a hard work, and it takes lots of details to actually pay attention to. But you do have this very positive card over here, and the strength and the willingness to go forward. There is a second Karma card, and it's reversed, and it might feel that nothing will work out. But you see, the partner is sort of like, you see, after this being shunned and not opening the door, somehow the day comes, and these beggars that we see them here are now actually getting something, getting help. And this is like what this card says. Wheel of Fortune is like you're on the up and up over here. The Karma is saying that there is like some suspicious quality in the situation. Suspicious in a sense that maybe you are checking each other social media and kind of like trying to see if you're going to catch a person in something. Well, how about asking this person? Asking. And because, look, these two cards are the only two cards in this entire deck that have this share element. She has this Justice scale and he has the Merchant scale. Both Merchant and basically kings or judges have been revered back in times when these cards have been kind of like created. right? So what is really important also, 11 and 6, right, is 17, and that comes to that star card. And star is like the healing and how to move forward. Justice always say, hey, maybe right now things look like off, but justice will be served sooner or later. So this equality, give and take, is very important, because both partners should ask themselves, hey, you know, how can I balance this? And there is a spiritual balance here as well. So it looks like this whole relationship really hinges on balance. And I'm glad to inform that I really don't see hanky-panky over here. Or if it was, it really was not really important. This is a horrible card upright. Luckily you got it reversed. Upright, this is like a thief or a rival, or somebody always kind of like making sure they win, and they don't really care what kind of disaster they leave behind. There's somebody coming, inviting themselves for a supper, they did everything up, and then they leave, and they leave you with a mess. And instead of like having a really nice after kissing feeling, you're having, oh my gosh, look at this mountain of dishes. This is kind of like, I get it. Again, it's a 7, which kind of goes back to this Chariot and to the Tower, right? 7s are always not stable, but still 7s are very spiritual. So this is going to be a very spiritual period for you guys, that is going to really mix with your grounded kind of like abilities, where you you do want to feel like just like the next person, but you also want that feeling is also sort of like going on some kind of tangent. It does have some future. It does have some kind of plan. And it looks like your partner is going to be willing to meet you there. Even though, and this is good, when people see each other in the worst possible light and you're still with them, it's a good news, because life is going to bring you lots of issues around. So this is good. It's something that maybe got stuck in development, and kind of like another 7 though, how to move forward, right? Because all 7s are dealing with, where do I go from here and how do I go from here? This is talking about it has to be more commitment to turn toward each other versus turning, because like you go from 2, kind of like you have to improve communication with each other, and then also with who are the other people around you, and maybe involve a bigger transparency, I would say. You're saying, holy smoke, how much longer is this going to last? I'm all wounded, and I've been going through all the stages, and like, is this going to last any longer? And I don't know if I can handle this. And you're saying, look, I'm going to try one more stage, and one more time, and go one more time step forward and see what happens. So be very sure and make sure this is not, now we have the 6s, 2 6s, so it is obviously a soulmate. That there is like no winning, because the Justice is about winning. The Justice is about, I have to be made whole, sort of a thing, right? Because this is the card of the winner. But just like this one, sometimes you're on the top, then you flip, then you're on the bottom, then you try to crawl up as well. So this card is definitely warning that in relationship, kind of like sexuality and attraction is cool, especially because we see that definitely sexuality in this card. But when is this reverse, just like Justice, is like, do not judge this relationship by actually going through dark times. And your partner, you see, you have the 8 here, which means there are some details that need to be covered. And these details should be about why the 2 of us are building this life together. Why are we doing this? Because here there was this commitment. Okay, yeah, I want to do it. But make sure this person really wants to be with you, not to be with you because they are having an empty life, or they think they have to be with someone. It's a kind of like poor man's commitment, right? Sort of a thing. Yeah, exactly. Because you have these 2 9s over here. It's saying, look, this is a day and this is a night. And saying, if this is not done for the right reasons, it can cause lots of anxiety, right? And the Empress reversed is a little bit confusing. And again, if this continues, be very careful that continues on the right grounds, because the Empress reverse can be clingy. It could be that one partner, see, like here, is talking about this give and take. It's talking about this balance. It could be that one partner wants to benefit more out of it than the other one. So again, guys, I kind of like do not see here issues. I don't see major issues. I do see that one party is more or less like, okay, I'll go with the flow, just say me what you want me to kind of do it. That's not necessarily the hook that you want to have for kind of like really moving forward in a big way. So certain things need to change. So let me see for Capricorn. Trust. Yeah, I think that really summarizes it nicely. In spite of everything that is going on, trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. And it's going to be needed. It's going to be needed. And this is also the trust card. So it's going to be really interesting, Capricorn, what the spirit is going to look like. So again, guys, to get your private reading, contact me via my website, cattarot.ca. You can see the specials there. And in the meantime, I would love to see your comments and see what you think. Love you guys. All the best.